Hello, this is Veterans News, a production of the United Veterans Organization of Nassau County. My name is Ed Allman. I'd like to thank Erica Bradley of North Shore TV for the use of her studio facilities here in Lake Success. Also, Mike Peters for his technical support for providing the training for our crew. The show is broadcast on public access television. I'd like to thank Sabrina Lacey, but she's not here today, so I won't thank her. I'd like to thank our crew. On camera 1, General Robert Graneri. On camera 3, Mike Ferraro. On camera 2, we don't have anybody on camera 2. All right. Our assistant director is Gene Schurer. Our graphics artist is Loretta DeBrino. Our graphics director, that's a little step above assistant graphics director is Labrino, and the graphics director, is Beverly Allman. Our producer is me, and our director is Robert Lane, who never gets enough credit for the work that he does. By the way, if any members of the crew would like to host this show, and please, I'd like somebody else to host this show, just find a guest. Find a guest and you can host this show. By the way, if you have any comment or question you'd like to make, send me an email, please. The email is right there, and I think it's on the screen now. Okay, our guest is Harry RANSOM. Harry was the past commander of Nassau County, American Legion, the 10th District Commander, and the Department Vice Commander for the 2nd and 10th Districts. And they include Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk County.
That's correct.
Okay, that was a lot of jobs to do. We'll talk to our guest in a few minutes, but first let us remember some of the veterans who died recently. Norman Blumenthal was known for his show Concentration that he produced for. He was also a World War II Navy veteran who was part of the deployment to the Philippines in 1943 and then to Japan as a signalman. Cleve Johnson was a deputy county executive for Suffolk County who died at 88. After college, he served in the Army Corps of Engineers. Murray Dolinger lied about his age to get into the U.S. Navy during World War II. He attended the City College on the GI Bill. Marcello Cano immigrated from Italy when he was only 15. He loved his adopted country, and that made him join the Army during the Korean War. Mary Iglima of Melville died at 98 years old. She worked in Brooklyn Navy Yard during World War II. Joseph Santillo died at 95. He also served in the Navy as part of the fleet testing of the atomic weapons. Also, a special note of passage for Robert Templeton. He was a Navy veteran of the Korean War and an aviation mechanic. He formed a military defense business after he got out. He retired and made giveaway crosses, necklaces to family and friends and strangers around the world. What were the military crosses like? He made these. These are the military crosses that Robert Templeton made and gave out to friends and people around the world. His grandson, Bob Wildermuth, is married to my niece, Jackie. If you know a veteran who died recently and you would like their name mentioned here, please email me. The email is on the desk. Okay, that's the end of Veterans News. Now it's time for our guest. Harry, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay. Harry, I understand you were in the Air Force.
Yes. I joined the Air Force in July of 1966. I completed my education on a Sunday, got my degree on Sunday, got married the following Saturday and said hello to Uncle Sam, I swear, on 30 days later.
You got married when you were getting out of the service?
No, I got married after college. A week after I graduated from college, I was married. And 6 weeks later, I said hello to Uncle Sam.
Really? What was your rank?
Staff Sergeant, U.S. Air Force.
You graduated from college and then you went into the Air Force?
I was not going into service, but I got a surprise and I said, let me do what I want to do.
Oh, very good. What did you do in the service?
I was a security policeman. Broad base, but initially I went to Germany after basic training. I was located at Simbach Air Base, and it was supposed to be the 38th Missile Wing, but the missiles went down just before I got there. So we were the 603rd Security Police Force.
Where is Simbach Air Base?
Simbach is near Kaiserslautern and Ramstein. Ramstein Air Base is still open. Kaiserslautern is a big military hospital there, and it's probably 20 or 25 miles from Mannheim.
Was your wife with you?
My wife came over after the first year.
Were you in Germany for more than a year?
I was there for 3 years.
Really?
I served in Germany from December 66 through December 69.
What was it like to be a security officer or a staff sergeant security?
Staff sergeant. Well, I was very fortunate. Initially, I was working in the bomb dumps,
in the bomb dumps?
Yeah, local area where the weapons were stored, a weapons storage area. That sounds better, weapons storage area.
Was that nuclear weapons?
Yes.
Really?
And then I would be detailed sometimes to help transport the nuclear weapons from one site to another.
Nuclear weapons, how did they look? Were they small? Were they?
I guess they were about 5 feet long.
Really?
And when we were moving, the convoy, no one could pass the convoy. And the German nationals would get a little ticked off. You come up behind me, you're not getting past. It's my job to make certain that those weapons are secure. So no one passed me as we were going from site to site.
But did you need special clearance to?
Well, that was all taken care of by the, I guess, headquarters. The only thing I was told was, you're in this convoy. We're moving weapons from one site to another. And I made certain no one passed me, absolutely no one.
I guess that's why. Were there a lot of college graduates in your line of work?
Believe it or not, there were.
There were, sure.
I had a guy that I really met, his name just slipped me. He finished Tennessee, at University of Tennessee, and he and I ended up working in the same office together. We had one guy who played in the 1996, I think it was a Senior Bowl, Dave Jennings, and there were a number of other guys. So we were very fortunate. I was in a group of young airmen that came through, and we went right up the ranks. Every time we were eligible for a promotion, we were promoted.
Really? You know, I hear you say atomic bombs, and I think right away of what's going on in the PACT Act, which I'll talk about later. But how's your health?
My health is, well, that had nothing to do with my health. My health is going downhill. I have medical problems like many of us my age, but
nothing related to the atomic exposure?
No, nothing. You know, some people are concerned about the atomic bombs and nuclear weapons. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me at all.
Okay. So how long did you stay in the Air Force? 3 years?
I gave Uncle Sam 4 years.
4 years?
Right. I was in Germany, and then I came back up to Wert Smith Air Force Base in Michigan. And I was accustomed to working in the office in Germany. let me back up. In Germany, after I worked outside for a while, I came inside, and everyone that needed a security clearance,
Right.
the documentation came over my desk. I reviewed it, forwarded it to the OSI. Air Force,
OSI is what?
Office of Special Investigations for the Air Force.
Okay.
They would complete their investigation and send it back. I would take a look at it and then forward it on to my CO. And they would decide whether, in some cases, they had to decide whether or not a person would be granted access to classified documents.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It was a great job. It was a great job.
Really?
It was like working a normal job. 8 to 5, 5 days a week, and then 1 week a month we had to pull SIR duty, serious incident report. So you were on call from 5 in the evening until 8 the next morning. So many a nights I would have someone knock on my door to tell me I had to go back to the office.
Right.
Yeah, but I complete that. And then later on, another portion of my job was to take the daily report to the base commander's office. And sometimes I would have classified documents, but once again, that stayed in my hand.
Yeah.
And right beside me in the Jeep or the car, whatever I happen to be driving. And it goes from my hand to the base commander secretary.
What kind of vehicles were you driving?
We had a Chevrolet Bel Air.
Oh,
Or I
okay.
could find a truck.
Not a Jeep.
Believe it or not, we did have Jeeps, and we would borrow them from Second Mobile Communications Group. They were located next to us when it snowed.
When it snowed.
Yes, I mean
Very
they
good.
didn't have doors on them, so you were in the open,
Right.
in the elements. But it was one way to get where you needed to go.
Yeah. What was Germany like? What was the civilian? Well, you were married when you went there.
I was married, but we lived off base, and we started out in a small apartment, and then later on, my wife was fortunate enough to get a job on base. She was an accountant, or is an accountant by trade, and we were probably making more money than a lot of the young officers. But it was great. We had got a new car, had a 2-bedroom house. We could take trips to, let's see, we took about a 20-day trip down to Italy.
Really?
From Germany to Italy in the boot. It was just great. Down to Munich, we went up to Amsterdam. So it was very interesting, a lot of fun. Believe it or not, Ed, I saw a lot of my college classmates while I was in service.
Really?
And I can't remember how we all got together, but one guy was a basketball player, and I saw his name in the Stars and Stripes. I contacted his command, and he came up to see us, and we went down to see him. And my wife and some of her girlfriends were going to Berlin, and she met more people that we attended college with. And as amazing as it may seem, in Kaiserslautern, there was another classmate and 2 more people there that we'd gone to college
Wow.
with. So it was a small world.
Where'd you go to college?
North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro.
Are you from North Carolina?
Yes, I am.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought you were a Long Island guy.
Well, I have been for the last 51, 52 years. Yeah.
You've been married 52 years.
No, I've been married 56.
Oh, okay. How was the language?
I tried to learn German, and I was doing pretty good. And my wife was decided to take German, and she was doing good. But
Really?
We were speaking what was known as Plattdeutsch, and a lot of the people were speaking High Deutsch. So if you could grab a few words here and there, yeah, you were okay.
Okay. Very good. What else are we going to talk about? I have something to talk about here, but I have 5 minutes, well, 4 minutes now left
Okay,
that we can talk about.
I'll tell you about my time as a Department Vice Commander in the American
Good.
Legion.
Very good.
I am one of, well, the the officers that were elected in 2019 for the American Legion, we served longer than anyone else. We served 2 years because of COVID.
All right.
We were supposed to serve 19 to 20, 2019 to 2020. We served 2019 to 2021.
Right.
And there's an asterisk by everyone's name to show that we served 2 years. It was great, though. As I said, my territory that I was responsible for was from Suffolk County through Staten Island. And I never knew there was so many American Legion posts. I think Suffolk has over, or close to 100. Nassau has approximately 55.
55 different posts in Nassau County.
And Queens is probably the smallest. Brooklyn has a number of posts. I can't remember the numbers for Brooklyn or Staten Island, but they are large. Excuse me.
I'm always surprised at the county American Legion meetings. They have a meeting once a month, and they start the meeting off with the roll call of posts. And the number of people that are there is about 15 or 20,
Right.
as opposed to 50.
Well, let's look at it this way. Years ago, when I was a county commander, we had 65 posts and over 1,200 members in the American Legion. Now we're down to, I think, maybe 55 posts and maybe 700 to 800 veterans. As you know, Long Island is probably the hotbed for veterans. And since the other wars have started, Afghanistan, we just can't get the people to come in and join.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is attributed to the fact that it's so expensive to live on Long Island, where we may have been able to make it on one income. The guys and ladies today, they can't do it. They have to have multiple incomes in order to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we've talked about as far as some of the membership offices go.
Yeah. Okay. Do you mind if I
No.
read this? You know, I talked about the PACT Act before. I'd like to read this. This is the report I make up every month for the American Legion. I talked about the PACT Act in recent reports, but failed to mention that health care benefits is also available for the following veterans. Now, before I talked about what benefits there were for recent veterans, for folks that were active about 1980. When was the first Gulf War? 1989?
No, approximately 91, I think.
From 91. Well, there's a whole bunch of benefits now for veterans that were in the service from 1990 till present. And I talked about that at the last meeting, but I didn't talk about what's available for nuclear veterans. The Inuitak Atoll from January 1977 through December 1980. That's three years. That's a lot of veterans. They are also eligible for benefits. There was a cleanup of a B-52 bomber in Palomares, Spain, in January 1966 through March 1967. Again, there were many veterans there over a year and a half. Response to a fire in Thule Air Force Base in Greenland. From 1968, all right, it's only 9 months, but there was a fire in Thule, Greenland. And
Thule, Greenland.
Thule, good, you know about it.
Yes, I do.
Very good. Atmospheric nuclear weapons test in Nevada and the Pacific Ocean from 1945 to 1962. That's a lot of people that were involved in that. And also participation in underground nuclear weapons testing at Amchunka Island in Alaska before January 1st, 1974, and going to 1992. So that's a lot of people. And all these people are eligible for benefits, both medical benefits and financial benefits. So if you are in any of those places, please call the VA. You can contact the Nassau County Veteran Service Agency, Suffolk County Veteran Service Agency, or even go online and just find out what the PACT Act has for you. Some other items. Looking for a career in fire management, consider the Southeast Conservation Corps, Veterans Fire Corps. On Veterans Day, the National Park Service unveiled free lifetime passes for veterans and their families to over 2,000 national parks. You just need a veteran ID card, a veteran health insurance card, or a Department of Defense identification card, or even a state-issued driver's license that says you are a veteran. You can get a National Parks free pass, so please do that. Gold Star families are also eligible. The VA Medical Center, by the way, has flu shots. You should get your flu shot. Last item, irritable bowel syndrome. It's a health condition that causes abdominal pain, cramps or bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and/or gas. About 1/3 of female veterans have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Some veterans have mental health issues associated with irritable bowel syndrome. See your VA medical professional. That's all I have. I'd like to ask somebody to get somebody out here. Marcelo Mendez, I wonder if somebody, Gene, can you get Mr. Mendez out here? Mr. Mendez was a 30-year member of the Explorers Club. That's a well-known club that takes people around the world. And by the way, he won the Sweeney Award for the 2021. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you, Marcelo?
How you doing?
Good. Glad to see you. You have to talk up so you can get into our microphone.
Oh yeah. What do you want me to talk about? Hello, everybody. I'm so honored to be with you guys.
What I'd like you to do is to show us this sign.
Okay.
If you can unwrap that, that's supposed to be a prop that we're going to use here on the show in the future, and we really don't know much about it.
Okay.
So maybe you can open that show and show it to us?
I know nothing about this.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going to
I don't
open it,
expect you would know anything about it.
And I'm going to see what it's all about, and hopefully we can get a good idea of... Wow! Wow! Look at this, guys.
What is that?
I mean, this is... let me explain this. I have a friend here, Gene.
Show it to the camera.
I will show it to the camera, and I don't know how he did this. It's a complete surprise. I mean, I have no idea that this was going to happen. And it reads Marcelo Mendez, The Explorers Club, 1992-2022, 30 years anniversary. World-class videographer, editor, producer. Come on. This is the Explorers Club flag. This is the Sebastian Elcano 500 years of exploration, because we were celebrating the 500 years of circumnavigating the world. All these are expeditions that I was there. Easter Island, I've been there like for 10 years. Patagonia and penguins. I live with the penguins. He knows the real story. Scuba diver instructor, that's true. I was, and cheetahs in India. That was the latest thing that I was involved, sending some cheetahs to India from Namibia, because they were
Cheetahs?
extinct. Cheetahs, cats.
Cats, yeah.
They were extinct in India, and in a matter of a week, the Explorers Club started moving the resources. I was involved in a little piece of this, but everybody started looking for who you know. Somebody has a Boeing 747. They paint a cheetah and they put 7 cheetahs inside, and they flew it to India, and it was all over the news. But thank you for. I mean, this is too much. I mean, I don't know how to.
Very good.
You guys are like I'm like little thing like this compared to you guys. I mean, and this is not a. I thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Can you tell me what the Explorer Club is?
The Explorers Club is a club that is we have chapters all around the world, and basically was established in 1902.
1902.
Right. And this flag has been the first one that went to the South Pole, to the North Pole, to the Mount Everest with Sir Hillary.
Wow.
The first one that went to the moon, and so on. It's the first one to the Marianas Trench. And our members are like always...
That flag was on the moon?
Exactly, with Neil Armstrong, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yep. And
You just see the American flag out
Well,
out there.
it was kept on his pouch. It was like a little like this.
Okay.
And he returned it, and now it's in exhibit at the club. But all the Apollo missions, they carry the flags. And lately, our honorary vice president now is Jeff Bezos because he is Jeff Bezos, and he has a Blue Origin company. He wants to go to Spain. Elon Musk is there. Now, we have a lot of these crazy guys that they have a lot of money and try to do crazy things. I'm not one of those. I just like do crazy things, but without that. But thank you again. I know I wasn't expecting this. This is an honor to be with you guys in the same set. And thank you, Gene. Thank you, Mike. Happy birthday too. And Bob. Yeah,
Very good.
This is a non-expected thing. And the penguins, he likes it because I told him the story that many years ago I was stranded in a small island in Patagonia, and until they rescued me. And I have to live with like 3,000 penguins. And I hate them because they try to bounce with you. And I remember the sound. I mean, I can still have it. And
you were stranded on an island of Patagonia.
Right. I was diving there, and the weather was too bad, and they left it there. So basically, and we will have to wait like 2 or 3 days until they could rescue us. So we have to survive to what they have there. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it's just like...
You didn't have any food?
No. But
for 2 days you can get away with that.
We were have wetsuits, and so we were good. And well, I can tell you a lot of stories, but this Explorers Club is a beautiful place to hear crazy stories.
Really?
And we do an annual dinner that is called ECAT, Explorers Club Annual Dinner, that is like the Oscars of exploration. We give an award. And they just gave me one this year. It's called the Sweeney Award.
Right.
And that's why Gene was like, thank you, Gene, again.
Where was the last place you went on a tour?
Well, we were doing... it wasn't a tour. It was like a celebration of all the tribes in the Sahara Desert, and there are 49 tribes, and it was instrumental to carry this called the Museum of Tantan. It's a week of gathering.
Okay, we got to go now.
So anyway, thank you again, everybody. I mean, my hat goes to you
Marcelo,
guys.
by the way, was running our show here for a long time when Mike Peters was out, and did a great job.
Thank you very much. Keep on watching this show, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I mean, I wasn't expecting at all.
And I think there's some refreshments now.